Sports. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Daily Aztec Sports Talk. With Matt and Pat, I'm Pat.
And I'm Matt. Today we're going to talk about a lot of things Aztec, namely SDSU baseball. They just came off a win against UCI, a walk-off win against the number 19 Anteaters, and they have a big, huge series coming up this weekend against University of Nevada, Reno, the Wolfpack. They have a better overall record than SDSU, but they're one game behind SDSU in the Mountain West standings. So this is a biggie, ladies and gents. Patrick has been calling a lot of the games, and he's been looking over at Tony Gwynn, keeping track of what's going on. So Patrick, give our viewers an update, give our viewers a prediction, give our viewers your voice.
Well, here is my voice. Here is an update. Ty France had an RBI single on Tuesday night to lift San Diego State to a 4-3 win over number 19th ranked UC Irvine. Nevada, conversely, blew out the University of San Francisco on Tuesday night. So both teams are good. Both teams can hit really well. Both teams can pitch really well. And both teams are coming off big wins. I think San Diego State's going to take 2 out of 3, but man, this is going to be a really good series. Nevada, if this gets into a power hitting contest, Nevada's going to blow SDSU away. They have way more home runs than the Aztecs. They've got 2 guys with a combined total of 20 home runs, and that's almost as many as San Diego State. That's more than San Diego State has as a whole team. But San Diego State has a deep lineup. Basically, if you talk about the heart of the order for San Diego State, it's the 1 through 9 batters, and that's not a joke. Freshman Chase Calabwig is hitting an absurd .416. That's Jeez. Right, .416.
He's 18.
Yeah, he's a freshman.
Damn.
Freshman. Fresh out of the box and hitting .416. So I think San Diego State is going to take 2 out of 3, but it's going to be a good series. It's going to be a really tough series, and people should get out to watch it because this is going to be some good baseball.
All right, more news on the Mesa. A little bit of sad news in terms of SDSU basketball. In case you haven't heard it, climb out from under your rock. Kevin Szabo is transferring out of SDSU. He only played serious minutes in about 13 games this year, and they were all non-conference games. He came in as a 3-star recruit out of Canada. A lot of people thought he might be the starting point guard, including yours truly. Trey Kell took the job, his truly as well. It never really came together for Szabo. His offense was great. His defense wasn't. And when you're on SDSU, if you can't defend efficiently, you're not going to play. So his father told Mark Xavier of the UT San Diego that, part of the reason was that Szabo wanted to be closer to home. They thought it was best for him to get more playing time, and it really is. He's going to get more playing time somewhere in the East.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to get more exposure somewhere in the East, as we all know the East Coast biased. But it is a little bit sad just because Szabo was a good guy. He clearly liked being at SDSU, but with Hemsley coming in, with Kell coming in, and with perhaps some transfers coming in with Mr. Carr, we'll get to in a second, it was just logical for Kevin Szabo to leave. But we wish you well, Mr. Canadian Guru. Have fun on the East Coast. But Patrick, talk a little bit about some potential transfers.
I will, but first I just want to add to this Szabo conversation. It's really, I guess, unfortunate that he got that foot injury in December and missed a couple games, missed some practices, and by the time he was healthy, he was buried on the bench because by that time Malik Pope was starting to get into his groove and catch some eyes, and then Pope went to Colorado State, and
And then that happened.
And that happened, blew everyone's minds. But it's really unfortunate because Kell is a true point guard, and he really was the only true point guard on the team. Or Szabo, excuse me. Szabo was really the only true point guard on the team. He had a pass-first mentality. He had a really raw skill set. But like you mentioned, his man-to-man defense wasn't that good. It's not that he wasn't trying. It's just that it just wasn't that good. Anyway, some transfers that could be coming to San Diego State. One of the big things that everyone's talking about is the Aztecs need a graduate transfer who can score.
We need an old dude. We're going to be young next year.
Yeah, and that is so true. There's a couple of guys out there who would be perfect fits for San Diego State because a lot of the top 5 transfers have already been snapped up by Louisville and other schools. Syracuse is looking at a lot of these guys. Mark Tollefson, he's a 6'9", 199-pound combo forward who graduated from University of San Francisco with an advertising degree, and he will be immediately eligible.
Journalism.
Yeah, journalism.
We like you.
Come to state, Mr. Tollefson. Tollefson averaged 14 points a game for the Dons last year, and USF didn't really have a good season. Here's the catch with Tollefson. He shot 53% from the floor, which would make him one of the best shooters on San Diego State's team last year. So he'd be a great addition. Also, shot 37.5% from downtown. Another guy to look at is Sterling Smith. He is a guard who's graduating from Coppin State. Also, shout out, Sterling Smith, his hometown is from Chico, California, up in near my neck of the woods. So come on down to state, Mr. Smith. Smith just graduated from Coppin State. He's a guard who is an excellent shooter, shot 46.5% from the floor, 41% from downtown, 77% from the line. And, of course, those free throws. Everyone loves free throws because you
SDSU especially loves free throws.
just take a look at Josh Davis or Angelo Chol or Skylar Spencer shooting a free throw one day, and you'll see why State needs a good free throw shooter.
I don't want to.
You don't want to?
No,
Okay, fine. I'm going to make you.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
Okay.
So those are two guys that would be good fits. Tollefson has said that San Diego State is on his list of schools, along with Cal and Arizona. Smith, not so much. He's looking at Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech and Wake Forest, but Nevada Reno is also very interested in him, which would make any interest by San Diego State very logical, I think.
Another big target for me, I don't know how realistic it is because he hasn't listed SDSU as one of his top choices, but Nigel Williams-Goss, the point guard from Washington, went to high school with Winston Shepard, good friends with Winston Shepard. This dude is a beast. He absolutely beat up the Aztecs when Washington trounced SDSU 49-36 in Seattle. He's going to need to sit out 1 year, but he's a West Coast guy. It would make sense that he'd be on a West Coast school.
He averaged 6 assists per game, which sometimes was more than San Diego State had as an entire team.
Oftentimes.
But
one thing I thought was interesting was that one of his top schools reported was St. John's.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He's Williams-Goss, I think, is visiting UNLV next week,
That'd be something.
according to the Las Vegas Sun. So maybe that helps Dave Rice keep his job. Who knows?
Maybe. And one more piece of SDSU sports news, the biggest of the big, the most important thing that we've ever talked about this entire year. Megan, cover your eyes. Everybody, just be careful. This is going to be insane. Patrick Carr and the club tennis team are going to Arizona this weekend.
That's right. We're going to Tucson. We're going to kick some butt.
Good.
That's what's going to happen.
Good. Kick some wild
But it's going to be really hot there this weekend.
It's going to be hot everywhere.
I know. It's the West Coast, but it's the best coast.
West Coast, best coast.
West Coast, best coast. All right, that's gonna do it for us in this week's edition. We'll see you next week, and it's time for me to destroy Mr. Bain. Goodbye.
Yeah. I would say you have a winning record.
Yeah, that was fast. Wasn't that fast? Anyone? That was fast.
Yeah.